How old were you?
Tell me what happened.
And every time he would be like, just have sex with me. And eventually I was like, fine, I'm done fighting you, I love you, I'll just get this over with. And we were about to, and I said, I don't want this anymore, I don't feel right. And he said, it's my right as your boyfriend.
He like basically kind of forcefully kissed me on my lips, and it kind of drew me back. So I'm just like, what in the world is happening? And so like he grabbed me and he like rubbed on me a way that I knew was wrong. So my first thought was kick him and go. So I kicked him in his area and I ran back to my sister's room.
It was a very emotionally and verbally and sexually abusive relationship. It never starts out like extremely overwhelming, and they're very good at manipulating you into believing that nothing's that bad until all of a sudden you're a year into the relationship and like you're like, whoa, how did things get to this point, you know?
She groped me rather intimately around my ass, and then she started to slide her hand between my thighs, and I was so uncomfortable with it, you know, but I didn't feel like I could tell her to stop.
What did you think, and how did you feel?
Because it feels like there's a sign on my forehead that just says, you don't need consent to have this one. And it feels like the only way that that sign could come off is if I just wasn't around anymore.
I blamed myself for a long time. I thought it was a problem in me. Thought that it was the way I was acting and who I was as a person that was making her somebody else and making her act a certain way, and I thought that everything was my fault. I felt that I wasn't good enough for a long time, and she actually ended up leaving me, and I felt that even if I wasn't good enough for her, I wasn't good enough for anybody, and so I thought I wasn't good enough for life in general.
But I think that was very hard, was having people just look at you different and treat you like you were helpless.
Do you still struggle with what happened?
Yeah, I still struggled sometimes just because it's not something that's gonna not ever be relevant to your life. I mean, you can get over it and it have been past and you can forgive it and everything, but you know, there's certain times when just for the fact that it's been a thing, it comes back, you know, I don't know.
It wasn't a good experience for sure. It messed me up for a while, and it's still bothersome. But I think what's most bothersome is like that happens to people I know, and I hate that. I'm hesitant in every relationship. Like, it's hard to trust people. Yeah, it's hard to move forward in a relationship or even get into a relationship. Yeah, I just can't trust the same.
I've had nightmares. I have nightmares all the time. That's the one thing that like I really can't work through yet.
Did you ever consider harming yourself because of it?
Going through this, I definitely didn't eat for several weeks.
I would have like 1 meal, 2 meals maybe, every like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I did. I don't think I knew it at the time why I was doing it. Again, like I pushed it so far down that it was just kind of a volcano, kind of ready to explode. I cut, and like the only way to get the fear to stop, I thought, was the physical pain. It took it away. But I don't do it anymore.
I don't even think that I wanted to die. I just wanted to stop breathing. I just didn't want to feel anything for like 5 seconds. I just wanted to think it wasn't my life or it wasn't happening, because it was. I mean, it was very hard to comprehend why that would happen to me.
Did you report it or tell anyone? Tell me about their reaction.
So I didn't want to report it at work because I felt like it wasn't like serious. You know what I mean? Like, and I was drunk, so maybe like I read it the wrong way, things like that. Like, I don't know.
I never reported.
Okay.
I have had things like this happen to me repeatedly for years, and I've never once reported it.
Who are the people that you have told about it?
My current boyfriend, my therapist. I told my parents about 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I felt like I couldn't tell anybody, I guess, because they would say, well, you know, you guys are together, like you're dating, this is common, you know, this is normal. And so it would be my fault again for not being normal.
I don't think I'll ever feel comfortable enough to tell them what happened, because here I was, their 16-year-old daughter, at a party. Yeah, they probably would not have been too happy finding that happen.
What did they say or do to you?
My grandpa got put on hospice while we were dating, and it got to the point where if I would cry about that, he would just tell me to hold my breath. He'd say, hold your breath, stop crying. And so for about 6 months, like while my grandpa was dying and when I was still with him and after he died, like I wasn't even allowed to cry. Like I had someone telling me like that wasn't okay. And so that was definitely the hardest part. I needed to cry about something like that. And I wasn't sexually attracted to him. I didn't even really like kissing him. I got to a point where he had manipulated me enough that like I thought that was the best relationship I was gonna get. Like I thought that was as good as life got. And like that's what's so crazy about abusers is that like they're so good at manipulating you, like to thinking that for me to not even realize like at the time that was wrong at all. Like it's just so messed up.
You know, she'd insult me. She'd tell me that, you know, that I was lucky to have her because nobody would want me otherwise, that nobody wanted me around, you know, that everybody already hated me because I was so crazy and I couldn't, like, you know, people were scared of me, I guess. And, you know, she was the only one who would want me, who would want something that was so damaged by other people that, like, you know, I wouldn't be able to even love anybody else, which isn't true, but I felt like it was at the time.
If you had them in front of you, what would you say to them?
I wish I didn't let you intimidate me.
I don't think I would say anything. I don't have words for that. I mean, it's not worth my time anymore.
I would probably ask them, like, why? Like, what type of mental, like, what is wrong with you where you feel it's okay to touch a younger girl, for one? And, like, don't you have sisters or nieces or a mom? Do you, like, how would you feel if that happened to them? I don't understand how your mind can't work where you can be like, oh, a little girl really turns me on or something like that. I just don't understand how that works. I would ask him why, and did you think about after you did this what could happen to me? Like, I could have did many other things. I probably could have did something where I wouldn't even be here right now. So I'll probably ask him why.
You know, for a long time I wanted to know why. Like, why when I was crying didn't you stop? Like when I was crying and I said, please don't. Like, why wasn't that enough? Or did he even know that it was wrong?
That I forgive him, even though he's never said he was sorry.
What would you say to those that have been through a similar situation to yours?
Talking to someone really helps, even though you feel maybe their response won't be the way the response you want, and as well as keeping faith, knowing that this is something that is not normal and it happened to you, and in a way it kind of makes you unique now because you have experienced something that will make you extremely stronger down the road.
So I'd say, yeah, it's never too late to report it to someone, to tell someone, to make sure that people know, rather than just living through it.
I'd tell them that they're supported, that they're not alone, they're loved, that someone's there for them.
I would tell them it's not their fault.
You're bigger than that, and it does not define you, and it doesn't have to.
If you could tell the world anything, what would you want them to understand?
Like, if you have a gut feeling that something bad happened, something probably bad happened.
Hey, it can be me, it could be you, it could be the girl sitting next to you, it could be the guy sitting next to you. You never know.
They're trying to figure out how to step out of being a victim. Like, if you keep calling them a victim or treating them like a victim or treating them like they're fragile, you're keeping them in the same experience. Like, you're keeping them there. So I think talking to them like a normal person, you know, that doesn't mean they don't want to get frozen yogurt anymore. That doesn't mean they don't want to go to the movies. That doesn't mean that they just, that they don't want to hang out or they don't want to party. Like, it doesn't mean any of that. And I think when it comes to partners who are dating someone that has had this experience or something like it, sometimes, like, if they don't necessarily know how to be intimate, or they just seem awkward, or they seem uncomfortable, like, if they say that they, you know, if one day it was fine and then today it's just not working, today it's just not working. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't want to do that with you. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that they can't right for now. So just being there to support them through that, I mean, makes it so much easier, because then it becomes like a retraining with them for intimacy. You know, that's what it was for me, of like retraining of, you know, it is a safe space with someone that you love. It can be a fun experience. It doesn't have to be like emotionless. Like, it can be something that is very loving and expansive and celebratory. It doesn't have to be something that's dirty either. Sometimes that gets really, it got fogged up for me a bit, is that it became something that was taboo almost, and it shouldn't be like that.
I would say to people who have experienced sexual assault or what have you, that it's not your fault. And as hard as it is to deal with feelings of guilt in situations like this, sexual assault is just what that is. And, you know, you are bigger than that. And for people who have not experienced anything like that, and are just watching this video, I think it's important that you not define someone who has experienced that by their experience, because they're not victims of what happened. Maybe at the time you could say that, but those people are a lot stronger than what certain people may give them credit for. And yeah, they're not something that's happened to them.